and welcome to the Bachelorette recap with Darlene
and Michi.
So today is episode 10, and it's the Bachelor Tell-All.
The men tell it all. Love it.
And I thought everyone that was invited was apropos, like everybody that was there should have been there.
Should have been there.
Some of them were a little silent.
Definitely quiet, but you know, honestly, I gotta give us some kudos because everything we mentioned throughout this entire season has come out in this episode.
Yeah, all the ins and outs that we talked about, everything was talked about in this episode. So let's get started. So it all starts, well, what I really liked about the beginning of the episode
the best
was the fact that Adam, who we both loved,
I love
that Matt and Adam, they both got let go at the same time. And we never really saw who they really were.
Right.
But he's talking to Lucas, and he says, not waboom, but we'll-bye.
He says, we'll-bye.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. So Adam, good sense of humor. And then we start really getting in motion with Demario.
Demario, just admit it already.
I know.
You had a booty call while trying to date Rachel. Very simple.
Cleopatra wasn't the only queen of denial. Demario is the bigger queen.
Yeah, Demario, just step up to the plate. I was never a fan of you. I'm still not a fan.
No, and all the guys were like rolling their eyes. Everybody knew that he was full of it, you know? Kind of funny. And then we go, who else do we talk to? We talk to Iggy.
So we talked to Iggy, and the
Iggy's still Iggy.
Iggy, you're still Iggy. The bottom line is everyone called him a rat. And the one thing that we said prior was he's kind of like a mole and Rachel's intellect.
Yep.
He was able to collect intellect and report back to her, and that's kind of how that relationship went.
He was kind of an instigator to see who would do what, and then they pretty much fell suit to what he wanted them to do.
Of course, and he used it against him.
Yeah, he totally did.
Yeah.
And was the tattletale for sure.
Oh. Who wants that title?
Yeah. And as they're talking and discussing, the one person that still impresses me is Will.
Oh, Will, you are gorgeous looking guy.
And he's really smart.
Very, very articulate.
Very articulate. And I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but in my eyes, I couldn't help but thinking and wishing that it was Will, not Eric. But that's just me. So, but I like Will a lot. And Anthony, actually. I really like
Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony speaks. This is probably the most I've ever heard him talk.
This
time. And I was like, Anthony, not only do you have a personality, but you actually speak. And you have an opinion.
Yeah, a good one, too.
Good one.
Very articulate. So we're talking about most of, just recapping what went on in The Bachelorette. And some people speak, some people don't. And then we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, basically, with Kenny and Lee. And I think it's interesting that they both had their, well, it's good that they both had their time on the, time on the couch, I guess. So first it's Kenny. And I think that it was good that they discussed what happened, and Kenny mentions that he didn't feel, bless you.
Thank you.
Kenny mentions that he doesn't feel that it was, at the time, that he didn't feel like it was a racial charge. So everything that was, the way Lee was confronting him, it wasn't racially charged. So he just feels like it was more that Lee felt like he was less than, and he wasn't on the same playing field as everyone else, so he felt defensive, and he just targeted Kenny.
Yeah, he basically called him out and said, you know, he realized that he wasn't in the league. And he was pretty much the guy who was never going to make it to the top. He was out of his league. And that was interesting that Kenny recognized the point that Lee wasn't racist.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, what we find out after. Some people beg to differ.
Yeah, exactly. But I think at the time he just didn't feel like, and I think that being a minority, I think hopefully not, and you've never experienced it, but if you have, you know what that feels like versus just someone not liking you or, you know.
And I like the fact that Kenny did justify that he didn't feel like he was being attacked for racism at all. And that's, I think, important to some people.
I agree. It was important to me. I'm glad you said it. So then Kenny gets on the couch and he's discussing what happened, and he really lets out his feelings of remorse of what he did wrong, I think, with Rachel, and how he felt like he was the bigger man or the bigger person, but at the same time he still let his emotions get the best of him. Yeah. And which, I mean, it's understandable. Like,
it is understandable,
so hard.
But I feel like as a man, he even talks about taking ownership and then moving forward and letting it go. And what we didn't see was him letting it go.
Yes.
And I don't want my man feeling a certain type of way and still having this emotion, because that's unattractive to me.
Very. Like, Rachel was totally turned off at the helicopter ride. Yeah, totally. And even during this episode when Lee was talking, we'll get to him right now, but when Lee was talking, you just see Kenny going like this, like a snake, and shaking his head and making all these grandiose gestures with his face, you know. So, I mean, he's obviously not over it, and he wanted to say certain things probably that he didn't say verbally, but he said with his mannerisms, you know. So, kind of annoying, but whatever. He has a daughter, so he couldn't do as much as he probably wanted to.
And I will say that it was nice to see a grown black man handling his business and being a responsible father.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And I think that's probably one reason why Rachel, I think, was into him, because he showed that trait which some men don't carry.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it was personified on TV, you know, this
her coming out, I mean, what a great gift. ABC, always doing
Mackenzie,
stuff.
When Mackenzie came out.
When Mackenzie came out,
cute.
I mean, she's adorable. Giving her a trip to Disneyland.
Yeah, her face.
I love Disneyland.
Her face was priceless.
She's such a beautiful young lady.
And he's doing a good job. You can tell he's doing a great job being her dad.
Being her dad.
So, yeah.
And she misses him so much and missed him so much. Throughout the episode, that it shows how close they were and what a good relationship they had.
I thought it was funny when what's the host says, I forgot his name, but
I want to say Jack, but that's not his name.
So when the host says, are you proud of your dad? Chris, are you proud of your dad? And she says, yeah, he made it to like number 8.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, Mackenzie. She's watching like every episode, you know?
And she's excited. And obviously happy, because I think she genuinely wanted to meet someone for her father.
Yeah, definitely. And he will.
Yeah,
he will.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So we hear Kenny's feelings, and then we have Lee come up to the couch. And I feel like, I mean, it's been a year and 9 days, as they said, since the last episode till now. And I really feel like what the sentiment was with the guys, that Lee didn't really feel remorse for anything that he posted or anything that he did necessarily until this moment.
And that's what is so ludicrous to me, is that you've waited a year and 9 days and now you decide to be apologetic and be trying to feel remorse for what you've said.
Yeah.
That's a little odd to me. That just definitely puts you in your place as to what character you truly are.
Yeah, and to give him the benefit of the doubt, let's say he didn't really know certain things that he was saying was the wrong things. Now, maybe he hears it from his peers and he feels a certain way now, maybe a different way. Hopefully.
You know what? In his defense, he sat on the hot seat. He took the beating.
He took it like a champ.
Exactly. What I didn't know was that there were so many people that had interactions with him and had something to say about him.
Yeah.
Which I only thought there were a couple people here and there. But now to hear all the men discuss Lee's character and behavior, that's a lot to say, Lee. So in your defense, thank you for finally apologizing, and thank you for stepping up and taking ownership of your behavior.
And I think Anthony said it best, where he was describing Lee as maybe being this person who was raised a certain way and doesn't realize that some of the ideas or his mentality harbor racism, and he doesn't realize it's racist. And then he is vocal now, and he has like, I don't know how many followers on Twitter or on social media, and now it's reaching so many more people, and not his just little like community of people, you know? So yeah, it's gonna get out there, and maybe the mentality that he has is racist, but he just doesn't know it. So I thought that was very good of Anthony to bring up, and the fact that when Lee went back from the couch to his seat, all the guys stood up and shook his hand.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
And Kenny gave him a hug.
Yeah,
it just shows me that we've now reached a new character with Lee, and I'm glad that he was able to recognize change.
Yeah,
people can change.
Yeah,
and I think that was a good moment for him, and I'm glad it took place on TV.
Me too. And then hopefully whatever community he was brought up in, what his friends, his family, whoever else has that mentality instilled in their heads, hopefully that's changed too. You know?
I mean, the fact that he tweeted the NCAA, it's like NAACP versus KKK is kind of, why would you compare the NAACP at all and think that that was appropriate? I mean, that society was based off, or that association was based off advancement for colored people. So I'm a little confused as to why you would even bring that up in the same category as the KKK.
And even trying to fathom like where he was going with that, I could see maybe why he feels a certain way about the NAACP, but don't compare it to the KKK. Those two as completely different, you know? The NAACP never burned people on front of people's lawns, you know? So that was a really bad analogy to compare them.
No, did not dress up in white clothes and stand for racism. I mean, it's odd. Yeah, but anyways, he learned his lesson, hopefully. And
I want to like see, I won't necessarily follow him, but I would want to see what happens in the future on his like social media.
I mean, but not only that, you knew you were coming onto a show to date a black girl.
Yeah. That's so weird. It's inherently racist. Right. I think it's just like Anthony said.
Yes, and I think that's just him trying to create a new following too. But
being radical.
Yeah.
That's true.
Good following.
You know it works, Trump.
Duly noted. Yeah.
Okay, so then we're done with the Kenny and Lee show, as it was before and it was now. And then we have Dean come up to the hot seat, and he's talking to the host about his feelings and about where he was at in life when everything went down. Yeah. And I thought it was really cool that I didn't know that the producers reached out to Dean's father to see whether or not he was willing to come on the show. And for Dean's dad to say yes, hopefully he didn't have another agenda, you know, to be on TV, but at least he was ready and willing, you know, to reconnect with his son and bring his family together. Yeah. But I think that's maybe another reason why he was so dismissive of Dean when they're talking about their feelings, because he didn't want it to happen on TV.
I think it was a little shocking
at first, so intense.
And it was so intense, and this is national TV. But I think for the most part, they needed that to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just happened to be throughout this process.
Yeah. And I think he probably healed a lot, and just watching it again, and hopefully the father watches and sees where maybe his mistakes slide, you know? So it was good. And then, so he talks about Rachel a little bit, and then Rachel comes out.
Yeah. Rachel comes out.
And I just feel like on his face, you could see his emotion go from like kind of happy to like, to me, he was heartbroken still.
He's still emotional about her. At that point, he knows she's engaged. Yes. So I think that's very emotional.
We don't know who it is yet, but we know. Yeah.
I think it's very emotional to know this person is now really dating someone, in love with someone else. That's like seeing your ex. Yeah. And not always the best feeling. And the time they spent together was a lot of time together. Yeah. And she met his family.
Yes. It went through that whole emotional experience, which made him love
probably
her
close to her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, where do you go from there?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's moving on, though. He's going to be on the Bachelor in Paradise, or Bachelors in Paradise.
You are moving on, Dean.
He's 25, 26 probably now, but...
What an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep on with these great shows.
We'll be following you.
I will love to look at you every chance I get. So, have fun in paradise.
Yes. And then he asks or confronts Rachel about how could you say that to me when maybe you didn't really feel it. But in her eyes, she had 4 great men at that point, and she really was falling in love with them. I could kind of see where she was at, you know?
Yeah, but I honestly, Rachel, this is where you and I disagree. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I would not. It's kind of like leading someone on, because if you put yourself in this situation, like, hello, Peter, for instance, he's like telling you, I'm falling in love with you, and then all of a sudden you're gonna retract it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm really ready for marriage. I mean, and she's devastated by that.
Yes, she is.
She continuously says how devastated she is. So I find it ironic that now you're doing the exact same thing.
And then Dean said it too. How could you say you're falling in love with me and then give me the boot 4 days later?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree with him. Those words to me, and you know this, are very hard to say.
Yes, they are.
I've only told you I love you once in my life. Just
Who,
kidding.
me? You tell me every day.
I know, I love you.
So then we kind of end there. I feel like Rachel says her piece, they hug it out, but I think he's still like, oh, okay, whatever, Rachel, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's how it ends, because he's engaged and he can't change that. So, you know. So then the guys get to speak to Rachel, who's on the couch by herself now, and I feel the first person that says something is poor Fred. I feel like he wrote his speech a year and 9 days ago and has been practicing every day ever since.
Fred, this was the best dissertation. I mean, I don't know.
Where's the Oscars at?
What exactly? Like, you need an award, buddy. This is like flawless performance.
Yeah.
And I loved how you led into it with, I don't know the Bachelorette, Rachel.
Yeah.
I know Rachel.
Yes.
I loved it. You still can't let it go. I love it. I love it.
And he was in love with her before the show even started.
3rd grade. I mean, let's take it way back. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I see where your head's at. And
but at the same time, I don't blame Rachel.
I don't blame
at
Rachel.
all.
I mean, the fact that she even got you that far was impressive.
Exactly. You can't blame her, Fred.
She wasn't even feeling it when they were together by themselves.
No.
You know, they could barely get intimate. Yeah, it was like she has a different perception of you, Frederick, and I'm so sorry. But
it was like Lisa and Screech from Saved with the Bell. Like, Lisa's never gonna love you, okay, Fred?
Yeah.
Get over it.
Sorry.
So anyways, that was kind of funny though. So the guys get to say their pieces.
Yep.
I love that Kenny was like, oh, by the way, if Brian, Eric, or Peter don't work out, I'll still be here. Yeah.
You know my number, girl. That was a good punch. Good plug in.
It was a very good plug for Kenny. Who else stood out a little bit?
I still think Anthony. I can't believe you speak, so I love that.
Josiah was good too. Josiah was a little bit.
Josiah and the bloopers. First of all, Josiah. Josiah, you know what is so funny is that I love oysters, and if I was in your shoes, I would be eating those oysters just like you did.
Oh, she was at my wedding. She was holding the tray of shrimp, eating them. Like, oh, is anyone else eating?
You know, maid of honors don't get to eat. Come on now.
So she was hungry.
So I was starving, mind you, but I did hover over the food for a little bit of time. Okay.
Hover.
My
favorite blooper was Dean and the gum.
Dean!
Oh my god. I was rolling.
Dean! Yeah. That's so cute, Dean. Yeah. Honestly, it could only be you to do that.
Only. It would be disgusting if anyone else did it. But the fact that you were just like, oh, okay, no problem.
I'll put it behind my ear.
And the producer's like, did you put gum behind your ear? And he's like, oh, is that bad? We pop it back in and swallow it.
And then swallows it! You swallowed the gum. I don't think I swallowed it until I was like 7.
That was cute. That made me like him even more.
I know, Dean. I think I just have a crush on you.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Okay, so I think that was pretty much the Bachelor.
I mean, that was pretty much the men tell all.
Yeah.
And I liked how Rachel did tell everybody a little bit about, well, not everybody, told a couple people a little bit about what she was feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think that was important for them to hear, but it's no secret. It's nothing that we didn't acknowledge and discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Rachel, for that.
I loved her dress too.
I did love
her dress. Is beautiful.
Need to know who this designer is with the rings and your dresses. Gorgeous. And that jacket.
Yeah.
But we are so excited for the last episode. I hope you guys are just as excited as we are. But who do you really think she's going to marry?
I mean, it might be great editing, and I think it is, and hopefully I get moted again.
Right.
And I think it's going to be Peter.
You think so?
I think it's going to be
I'm starting to think it's Brian.
I think that's my second choice, but I think it might be Peter.
I've been rooting for Peter for day one.
I know, it's just his mentality is not where she's at.
But you know what? It could be good editing by ABC, which is
exactly,
totally right.
Exactly.
That it could steer me in that direction. But I will say, I am not a huge fan of Brian, so I would fall onto Peter. And I hope she's happy with whatever decision she's made.
What do you think the probability of it being Eric is?
0.
Really? So friend zone?
Total friend zone.
Okay.
He's never brought a woman home. I don't even think they hooked up that night in this special
I don't think so.
night together, the fantasy suite.
I don't think so either.
That didn't happen. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Might as well have read a book.
I think they cuddled maybe.
If even. I think a lot was that tell-all. Okay, that fantasy suite was a tell-all of nothing's gonna happen between us. And it really comes down to Brian and Peter. And I think that no matter what, she's in love with Peter.
Yeah,
I don't think she's in love with Brian, but I still find it odd that she brought Brian to her friends. If I was gonna bring a guy to you, if I was in love with a guy, I would bring him to you.
Yeah.
So, because I want your approval.
Yeah.
So I find that just so weird that she brought
already did
Brian
that, yeah.
and not Peter.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she wanted to see what her friends would see with Brian.
I agree with that, but I also will say that she was very defensive with her family and Brian.
And that makes me feel like she's in love with him.
Yeah, that's what makes me feel like she really likes it. Or really is in love with him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we'll see, guys, and we'll have to check it out. Only a few more days till this finale. First of all, thank you so much for leaving all of your comments.
Yes.
We love them. And don't forget to tune in next week when we do have our finale. And we'll see you guys there.
Bye, guys.